My vote for the world's toughest job goes to the person who has to write the so-called jokes for Immigration Minister Peter Dutton. Because every alleged zinger leaves most people aghast and embarrassed. Earlier this year, Dutton attacked Alan Joyce from Qantas for supporting same-sex marriage with the withering put-down that he should stick to his knitting. Not exactly Oscar Wilde. In 2015, after many Pacific Island leaders had flagged climate change and rising sea levels as vital issues, Dutton casually joked with Tony Abbott that time doesn't mean anything when you're about to have water lapping at your door. Crickets. Last week Dutton jumped on the Macklemore controversy at the NRL Grand Final. One rapper performing one song was evidence of political correctness gone mad. He thundered, "My kids love footy, I don't want the gay marriage message jammed down their throat at the football." Now he has seen one photo of some refugees leaving the hell that is the detention center on Manus Island to be settled in the US and noted the images looked like a fashion show on a catwalk somewhere in Paris or New York. He then invoked the name of celebrity designer Giorgio Armani, and so some of the poorest, most vulnerable people on the planet were to him Armani refugees. That high-pitched and slightly annoying sound you can faintly hear now is Dutton's dog whistle telling you these people must be frauds. They are economic refugees, too well off to deserve humanitarian aid. You might think the same about a refugee with a smartphone. Which is perhaps why last week, Dutton quietly introduced legislation banning mobile phones and other items that he determines to pose a risk from all people in detention centers on mainland Australia. But a smartphone is crucial for a refugee, and also thinking of an asylum seeker using one and its social media apps to stay in touch with a family half a world away demonstrates exactly what Dutton doesn't want you to think, that perhaps these people might not be so different from me. Asylum seekers are not criminals. Mobile phones are a lifeline to the outside world that enables them to maintain their sanity and communicate with their families, their loved ones, the community and their legal representatives. Sadly, this latest move fits into a long pattern of Dutton and Malcolm Turnbull cynically throwing red meat to their rabid base supporters by seeking to criminalize and demonize asylum seekers. Dutton's border force had planned to confiscate all detainee phones and SIM cards in February this year, but were prevented by a temporary injunction obtained by my firm, the National Justice Project, on behalf of all people with phones in detention. The case in the federal court is ongoing. So Dutton's new proposed laws are really an attempt to sneak his way around the court. In this regard it is a type of contempt of the court, itself a possible crime. Dutton has a well-paid job that taxpayer dollars pay for, to represent the people of his electorate and to manage his portfolio, a job that includes fulfilling Australia's obligations to refugees. Maybe instead of attacking people for speaking their mind, and trying to punish refugees, he's the one who should just stick to his knitting.